Welcome, race fans, to Motors TV's continuing coverage of the Japanese Super GT Series. You join me, Mark Cole, and our Japanese commentators for the best GT racing on the planet. This one, round 5 from the mountain circuit of SUGO, where, as you can see, over the last few years, it's been a pretty hairy type of racing. In fact, it's long been a Toyota circuit, every race since 2000, going down to Supra or to Lexus. Honda's last win here came on the 3.7-kilometre circuit in 2000 with Ito, San and Germany's Dominik Schwager, but Nissan has never ever won here. Well, it's 4 down, 5 to go as Britain's Ralph Furman and Japan's Daisuke Ito move into the championship lead after their 6th place finish last time out in Sepang, adding to the Honda pairing's round 2 Okayama victory. Well, Sendai is in the northeastern part of Japan, close to the Pacific Ocean there. Beautiful city, very much a French design with lots of boulevards. And the circuit, SUGO, not far from it with its climbs and dives and 70-metre elevation changes. Sportland SUGO remains one of the most demanding of the 7 different tracks on which the 9 Super GT rounds take place this year. Well, it's raining, as you can see here on the grid. Last year, 2005 champions Toru Takagi and Yuji Tachikawa won here from Poland, their Zenitsurumo Lexus SC430. But they've qualified only 8th today, still carrying 35 kilos penalty weight from their 2007 season opening Suzuka win. So the big surprise is that Hondas have taken the top 3 places on the 48-car grid, Ryo Mishigami and Takashi Kogure on their 4th successive pole in their Dome Racing Dome NSX, but hoping to make the start this time after breaking a drive shaft on the Sepang formation lap, which has dropped their weight handicap to just 10 kilos. Alongside them is the Aguri Suzuki Ranata NSX of Furman and Ito on 45 kilos. And right behind them is Satoru Nakajima Racing's Franco-Italian crew Loic Duval and Fabio Carboni in the Epson NSX, with the best Lexus, the Hausen Tom's car of Juichi Wakisaka and Andre Lotter of Germany. Both Row 2 cars start with 0 handicaps. We have to go back to 6th to find the best Nissan, the Yellow Hat 350Z of France's Sebastian Philippe and Japan's Masataka Yanagida. Championship leaders before Sepang, Britain Richard Lyons and Japan's Satoshi Motoyama are down in 10th place with 40 kilos, but the heaviest car in the 500 race is Schwager and Shinya Hosokawa's Raybrigg Honda NSX on 60 kilos extra. We're just looking through the GT 300 grid. Of course, 2 categories in Super GT, 500 or 300 horsepower cars, space frame front and rear ends around the original cockpits, 6-speed manual transmissions and power steering. But banned, as always, ABS braking, traction control, as will be Formula 1 next year, and carbon brakes. Both Lexus and Nissan in the big class are running 4.5-litre V8s, while Honda is using its 3.5-litre V8. And that means no turbo engines at all now in 500, although there are some in GT300, where pole goes for the 2nd time this year after Okayama to the Privé Kenzo Shiden of Hiroki Kato and Kazuo Takahashi. From the Nissan V6-powered Artegarai of Fuji winners Morio Nitta and Shinichi Takagi. The Toyota V8-powered Shiden has finished twice this year in 2nd place, but it's still looking for that first win. Starting 3rd is the endless Advan Nissan Z of Masami Kageyama and Tomonobu Fuji, winner first time out at Suzuka. Well, ahead 81 laps of the 11-turn track, which opened in 1975 as a multi-motorsport facility accommodating cars, bikes, karting and motocross, and among its top events, World Superbike and World Motocross. Super GT and its forerunner, the Japanese GT, have been coming here since the series started. Just 22 degrees and we go racing. 7 laps in. They've had 6 laps behind the safety car, and immediately there goes out front Kogure trying to pull out a 2.6 second lead by the end of the first lap over Ralph Furman and the rest of the top 5, who all stay in start order. But the interesting thing is everyone's changed to wet tyres on the grid, but some of them have got deeper wet tyres, what they call the monsoon tyres here in Japan. Others have the shallower treaded wet tyres, and I think you'll find Ralph Furman in that orange Nissan there is amongst those. A lot of banging and shuffling going on through the early laps here. Now they've got going, as we said, 6 laps behind the safety car, so they know which the damp parts of the circuit are. And look at the change here. It's a beautiful track. It really is, up in the mountains, and very much a showcase for Japanese racing. Huge elevation changes, great long hill here, diving down to the back of the circuit, down to Horseback Corner. Wonderful names, some of them romantically called like First Corner, Second Corner. But you've got Rainbow Corner, you've got Horseback Corner, you've got backstretch corner, and you have High Point corner, really all reflecting the name of the circuit here. There's the Raybury NSX trying to go around the whole field there. And look how slithery it is. That is it Richard Lyons who is starting in that 23 car? No, it's Satoshi Motoyama, Richard's co-driver. And there, that yellow hat Tamika Z of Sebastian Philippe, he's got caught out there in the wet again. Very, very slippery here still. It looks like the rain is gradually stopping, but it flooded the track. And this, of course, is the height of Japanese summer, so there is more spray coming up still. Then down that long straight, which is slightly banked over to one side. There's the order then. NSX 1, 2, and 3 as they started. That Lexus in 4th, NSX in 5th, and the Zent car there. Zent Tsurumo car of Toru Takagi there in 6th place. GT300 starting separately behind and just trying to catch up where they are at the moment. Pole position, as we said, going to the Scheiden. Haven't seen that car yet, but what we do know is that the Endless Advan Z, the car that's starting 3rd, he decided to start on slicks, and that's probably the biggest mistake that team has made this weekend in GT300. Well, very little change in the start order, but there is a drive-through penalty. That is for the number 24 car, the Woodoney Advan Z. They have been given a drive-through penalty for coming into the pits, taking on heavy wet tyres and then ignoring the red light at the end of the pit lane. So that's going to cost D'Oliveira a lot of time, unfortunately. D'Oliveira, the Brazilian driver there, starting in 15th. And now at the back of the field. So it's still Honda, Lexus, Honda and Lexus, and the best Nissan still at Motel Ortex Z. Michael Krum, the number 22 Nismo car. Sebastian Philippe just fell back a little bit. There we go. There's the battle between the Motul cars. Come back again. So this is a Nissan fighting out 7th position. Motoyama then comes through past struggling Philippe. This car, which lies third in the championship, won at Fuji. Finished here in 2nd place last year. As we said, Nissan has never ever won here at SUGO. It's had 3 seconds, but never a win in the 9 years of GT racing here. It's of course Japan's premier series, Super GT. It's again diving down the hills, down through Horseback Corner, then into SP. Still incredibly slippery, just hard to get these cars into the apex. There then is the Scheiden leading GT300, this beautiful Mooncraft built Toyota 4.2 litre V8 powered Privé Kenzo Asset Scheiden. Those of you who've been watching our coverage this year will know all about the car, of course, named after a Japanese fighter, the Kawanishi Scheiden, which translated means violet lightning. Radial engine fighter plane, which the Japanese built right towards the end of World War II, was able to hold its own against the American Hellcats and Mustangs, but it all came too late. Not for the car, though. The car has done very well this year. 2 second places. It's 2nd in the championship at the moment. And of course, last year, this car was taken to the GT300 Vice Championship by the same drivers, Kazuyo Takahashi and Rocky Kato, who's on board at the moment. The Huzan Z then up into 2nd place after the Endless car dropped right back to the field, having taken those slick tyres. And the Artaguraya bright orange car, GT300 teammate to the Arta NSX, which Ralph Furman is currently lying in 2nd place in. Actio Murcielago, they're in 13th place. A little story about that. It's the only Murcielago Lamborghini here this weekend, and that is being driven by Koji Yamanishi, the regular driver, but no Marco Apicella, still suffering from his injuries in the Le Mans 24 Hours. You remember from Motors coverage that Apicella had a big accident in qualifying and is still not fully recovered from it. So he is being deputised by Hideshi Matsuda in that car. And Marco, we wish a speedy recovery to, very much in the same vein as Tom Christensen's accident early in the DTM series. Just a question of getting over those big impacts, 120-mile-an-hour impact with the barriers at Le Mans, and that shakes you up inside. This is Enzo Prumo. At the moment chasing down the Real NSX. This is for 5th place. This is the car run by the Rolling Stone team, so great start for them. This car actually qualified in 5th, still there. Kaneishi cousins, Toshihiro Kaneishi and Katsutomo Kaneishi. Oh, and off he goes! Oh, and it's a big accident. That is a big, big mistake there by Toshihiro Kaneishi. That car surely is going to be out of the race. Big impact with the barriers, just understeered straight off the track. And Toshi Kaneishi, of course, well known to German Formula 3 fans. Had a quick go in the DTM. Yeah, he just gets it completely wrong, doesn't he, going there into the corner and wallop into the tyre wall, but it's enough to do a lot of damage to the front of the car, and he surely is going nowhere. Still inside the car as we wait to see if he's going to be able to get it back. I think not. So a big error there. Takes the Kaneishis out of the race. Yeah, just confirmed that they are now in fact out. And we've also lost, incidentally, the Forum Engineering Lexus SC30. That's Bjorn Wertheim's car. They went into the pits to get some heavier rain tyres and then had a problem fitting the wheels, and as they left the pits, the clutch went. So that car never even made the start after having taken the formation lap and decided they needed better tyres. Everything went downhill from there. Privé Scheiden then still Scheiden leading in GT300 from the Husen Z, and the Wilcom VMAC, that number 62 car, that's come up the order. 62 car starting down in 5th, 9 to 3rd. That's the MTech powered 4.5 litre V8, Haruki Kurosawa on board. So still pretty tricky conditions here at SUGO. They're all scrabbling their way around. Big battles in GT500 and GT300. And there, the Takata Dome loses the lead of the race to Ralph Furman as we're about to take a break. And we'll be back here on Motors in just a moment. Welcome back to Motors TV's coverage of Super GT here from Japan. Here's the moment. Ralph Furman snatched the lead from Takashi Kogure. Kogure struggling with the problems with his windscreen wipers, and he's also got less slippery tyres. Someone's gone off down that first corner just before we went to the break. We saw the endless Nissan going off, and someone else, yeah, they're being pulled out on the outside. So Ralph Furman, championship leader, now out front here at SUGO. Great afternoon for him. There is Takashi Kogure, no wins this year, but 4 pole positions. But they've now just lost their lead so far in this race after 12 laps to Ralph Furman. And behind him, notice we've got the 32 car, that's Loic Duval in the Epson NSX, also closing now on the Takata Dome NSX. Huge crowd here, as you can see. There are some 29,000 spectators, despite this being a fairly remote part of Japan, about 2.5 hours from Tokyo. Arta NSX, Takata NSX, Epson NSX. Honda won't be too worried which one wins, because all 3 of those cars are factory-run cars, and they're we find that the Real cars course has dropped out. The real Rolling Stone NSX crashed very, very heavily by Toshihiro Kaneishi, and Lexus and Nissan then moving up into 4th, 5th and 6th places. Next best NSX, the Raybrigg car there in 8th place. That's the car that started in 7th, so it's lost 1 place, that's all. Still yellows around the circuit in this part, down towards the horseback corner. Still trying to sort out various cars that have gone off. We're still watching that battle, but watch this car. This is the Subaru Impreza, and he is on an absolute blinder this afternoon because he's got 4-wheel drive. He has been able to dispose of a lot of his rivals, and look at this, he's right up with the 3rd place VMAC now, the Wilcom VMAC. Still leading, of course, is the Scheiden, but this 4-wheel drive 2-litre turbo Subaru Impreza, I mean, it's being driven like a rally car around here. It's been rally conditions up to now. The rain has started to ease off, and we're going to have a pass here. 4-wheel drive, rain tyres, and through he goes. What a great move there. Now this car, this Subaru, started down in, just looking in 15th place, has now moved himself up into 3rd. What a Tetsuya Yamanano and his co-driver, who he'll be handing over to later, Takayuki Aoki. So this is really a great afternoon for Subaru here, not expected to shine ever in Super GT, which of course is a super high-tech series. And here we are with the Cusco Run Dunlop shod Subaru Impreza in 3rd GT 300. Big surprise for everybody here at SUGO. Meanwhile, Ralph Furman continues to forge ahead. This race is 81 laps on the schedule. Hoping to go the full distance. There is Ralph, still in 2nd place. Takata Dome NSX of Takashi Kogure, with White Duval's Epson NX car, the car run by Satoru Nakajima. First Japanese to really make his mark in Formula 1. Now running 2 or 3 programs in Japan. Oh, the Ferrari goes off, the only Ferrari in the race. That's the Jim Gaynor Ferrari. Gets himself back on the track. The Jim Center F360 Ferrari. Haven't quite got up to date with the 430s here that are used in American and European racing. Here's Loic Duval then starting to put pressure on the Takata Dome car ahead of him. That is run by Dome Racing. The Epson cars, we said, run by Nakajima. The Arta NSX car of Ralph Furman, run by Aguri Suzuki, another famous Japanese Formula 1 driver. So this is lap 16 of 81. The Porsches get some flashing from the Takata Dome NSX, but Koguri is not having a lot of luck with the traffic here this afternoon. He's getting held up everywhere. It's really a question of threading the needle, as you can see. Ralph Furman doing a good job of that. 500 horsepower, remember, from these GT500 cars, and you can just see the difference that 200 horsepower makes even in the wet. Well, we said it stopped raining, but it's still spotting a bit down the back end of the circuit. This is the point they come out of the 110R corner onto this sloping main straight. It's tilted over at about 4 degrees. Still NSX 1, 2, 3, but the Epson car of Loic Duval, the Frenchman, closing right up on them. Lexus 4th and 5th. Best of the Nissans in 6th place. Still the yellow hat car of Sebastian Philippe. That's run by Masahiro Hashemi on behalf of Nissan. Oh, and a touch there! That was a touch on the Arta Garaya. It's the car that's running 2nd in GT300, just clipped there by Loic Duval as he went through. The Arta Garaya at the moment in the hands of Morio Nita. They had the win at Fuji this year. They're 6th in the GT300 Championship. Now, the Japanese stewards are very, very insistent there should be no body contact in this ball. It was in second place. It's the Huzan Dunlop Z has come up to second now. That's the car that started fourth. In fact, he is splitting the leading Scheiden from the Artigaraya. As you can see, he too's had body contact. So just wanting to be clear that Luc Duval is not going to pick up a penalty for that hit on the Artigaraya. The umbrella's still up. We thought the rain was backing off, but it's obviously still just hanging there in the air. Of course, it doesn't move quickly here. It's like a little mini spa, this circuit. Very densely forested around here in the mountains. It's a Japanese equivalent to the Ardennes. And will our fourth place second place GT 300 car get a black flag or a black and orange flag for that? He's got quite a lot. Big chunk hanging off the back, and if that falls off, he'd be in trouble. But look, he's closed right up on the Scheiden now. So Toyota Power leading from Nissan Power. The Huzan Dunlop Z of Kota Sasaki. There's the third place car for Impreza. What a good job he's doing, but Ralph Furman flashing him like crazy. Get out of the way. There goes the Mamaya Drink Mazda. Just shows how bad conditions are. Now this is the little Advan RX-7 that was the 06 champion. And even they're having troubles today. It really comes down to what tires you chose at the start of this race. If you just went for wet tires, you went for monsoon tires, or as we've heard, even one and two starting on slicks, much to their cost. So the first really wet race of the Super GT Series. Race 5 of 9. This is the height of the Japanese summer at the moment, as of course will the next round be. That's the Suzuka 1,000 kilometers. The black and orange indeed does go to that number 46 car. He's been told he's got something wrong with the car. He's got to come in and get it corrected in the pits. So that is going to spoil Sasaki's race. What this means, of course, when he comes in is the Subaru Impreza is going to go up into second. So what a bizarre order today. First, there's second in the picture. And let's see just how far back the Impreza is. Can we catch him in the back of the picture? Not quite at the moment. Directors concentrating on this car, which is surely heading for the pits. About to be swallowed up by overall race leader Ralph Furman. Look at the speed difference. He doesn't go in the pits. Wouldn't be able to anyway. He couldn't have got across the road as Furman was between him and the pit lane. But he'll have to come in sooner. He will get black flagged. Looking for... There's the GT300 leader, there's GT300 second. And there's the Impreza, there it is in third place. This is absolutely amazing. This car has never been able to run much higher than 10th in any Super GT race. And here he is this afternoon in third place, which surely is going to become second in a few minutes because that Huzan Nissan 350Z, the Fair Lady Z in front of him, is going to have to stop to answer the black and orange flag. Further back, there we are with the motor car of Mikael Krum. That car at the moment running in, I think, 9th place. Mikael Krum having lost out to his teammate Satoshi Motoyama in the Zanavi Nismo car, which he shares with Richard Lyons. Very, very busy here, as you can see. And there ahead is the Raybrig car. It's 9th indeed. There's the Raybrig car in 8th. Dominik Schwager on board this car. As we mentioned at the top of the programme, Dominik Schwager, the last non-Toyota winner here at SUGO. That was back in 2000. Still the heaviest car in the race, 60 kilos, which is why that car is 8th today and not running with the Honda pack right up at the front. We're still waiting to see when the Huzan car, he does, he makes it, even to say, there he is, comes in, they're going to pull that bodywork off or tape it up, one or the other. It's the Epson car. Right up with the leader of GT300. We're going to take a short break. Make sure you stay with us for the next part here on Motors. Welcome back to Super GT coverage here, round 5 from SUGO on Motors TV. I'm Mark Cole, at the moment looking at Andre Couto, the man who this afternoon started 13th, now up into 7th place. He's having a great race. He got the right tyre choice. The rain has stopped now. You can see the umbrellas have gone in, and Couto then just outside the top 6 here. It's still Honda and Honda, but the Huzan Z car, that was wrong. That Huzan Z car, of course, not. It is a GT300 car. They got caught up there. It's still Honda NSX's 1, 2 and 3. Ralph Furman leading from Takashi Kogure in the Takata Dome NSX and Loic Duval in the Epson car, but he's not able to get any closer to the Takata car now. So I think perhaps the time's come, lap 27, the time's come that he is losing out because of his tyres. Satoshi Motoyama then at the head of a string of 6 cars there, but he just cannot shake all these people off his back, a whole group of them there, and Couto's caught right up with them, so he's really looking to try and get ahead of them. There is Couto then, looking one side then the other. As Honda's climbing all over them. There's Motoyama, the 3rd car in that group, that's the Zanavi car. In fact, it's the 1st car in the group, the Zanavi car, then the Raybrigg car, the Motul Z, the Calsonic Z, and the Calsonic Z, incidentally, being driven by Kazuki Hoshino with Jeremy Defour, Frenchman Jeremy Defour, instead of Benoit Trellier. Benoit Trellier has been rested at the moment, had an accident in Formula Nippon last week and was declared unfit to drive. So his French colleague Jeremy Defour brought in to drive that Kazuyoshi Hoshino run factory-assisted Nissan 350Z, or Fair Lady Z as they like to call them in Japan. We're not so keen on names like Fair Lady and Cedric as they are here. And Mikael Krum there just going a little bit wide. And the Motul Autuk Z. So very, very heavy racing here. And Andre Couto still hanging on to the back of that group. Just looking for a way past. Caught up, as we said, from 13th starting place. It's a great battle here. Raybrigg car of Dominic Schwager still hanging on to his shirt tails, as it were. There's the Takata Dome going past the Artegra, the car that was running in 3rd. I think it's back to 3rd now in GT300. There's the number 1 Huzan Tom's car, which has in fact got into 3rd place, having started in 4th, as we saw. Breaking up the Nissan battle a little bit, the Honda battle a little bit. The Takata Dome car then still secure in 2nd place, and the challenge by Loic Duval in the Epson car has faded. In fact, what's happened is, while we're in the break, the Huzan Tom's Lexus of Andre Lotterer has got ahead of him. So German driver in 3rd place, Japanese in 2nd, and British driver in oh, and a spin there. That's the Raybrigg car. That, just as we're talking about him, that is Dominic Schwager spinning out of that battle. Just got it wrong on the downhill section that goes down through Third corner, and then down the long, long hill, come out of Rainbow corner, in fact, that's the bottom straight. Schwager picks up the pace again, but he's lost touch with the 3 Nissans. Notal car has gone ahead now. That is Mikael Krum. He's gone ahead of Satoshi Motoyama, and he's got the Calsonic car of Kazuki Hoshino climbing all over the back of him, and the Calsonic car, of course, run by Kazuki Hoshino's father, Kazuyoshi. Used to be one of the 2 fastest men in Japan, he and Masahiro Hashemi. So 30 laps out of 81, so we're really getting into the pit stop windows now. Depends on how quickly their rain tires are going off. Remember, there's still a lot of them on deep groove tires, and the dry line has appeared here around Sugo. Dries out very quickly once the rain stops. It's just while it's still misty and mist hanging in the trees that the rain will not, the track will not dry. That Huzan car then on quite a charge now. And as always, the flags up there in the stands never stop the whole race. Andre Lotterer then absolutely determined to get past Takashi Kogure. Lotterer passed Jaguar test driver when they were still in Formula 1, Formula 3 racer. Japanese Formula 3 racer as well, but really made his name here in the Super GT series. They won here in 2006 in this car, so they know their way around here. And he's climbing all over the back of that Takata Dome NSX, which, as you heard, started from its 4th successive pole position today. Seems to be unlucky for it. Perhaps they ought to try a different starting position, and then they might actually get the win they need. Last time out in Sepang, they only got as far as turn 2 on the warm-up lap, and drive shaft broke, and that was it. And the pictures we saw of Ryo Mishigami, absolutely desolate. Got out the car, sat in the barriers, and just sat there with his head in his hands. They're starting from pole position, having travelled all the way to Malaysia, not even to get a race start. So fastest man on the track at the moment, the Huzan Z, as we can see. The Huzan, sorry, S. Another spinner. That's one of the Lexites, the Zen Supremo car, the one that started in 8th place in the hands of Toru Takagi. They won in Suzuka beginning of this year. They're not going to win today if Toru's going to throw the car off a track like that, but it does show, doesn't it, just how slippery everything is. There again, that Impreza 4-wheel drive really holding its own. 2nd place overall, and he can stay with some of these GT500 cars through the slippery corners. Lotterer has another look, but he can't do anything at the moment. Takashi Kogure working the traffic well. Very experienced driver, Kogure. Still no wins, but always running up the front. Ralph Furman, of course, going further and further away all the time. We're just waiting to see when the leaders are going to start making their pit stops. Well, even as we say, there we are, the 23 car comes in. I think Satoshi Motoyama giving up the unequal struggle. Richard Lyons then, the man from Northern Ireland, getting on board the car. Richard, remember, was champion in Super GT as well as in Formula Nippon. Motoyama is a multiple champion in both. 2nd here last year in this car, carrying 40 kilograms of weight. They won at Fuji this year. Good win for Nissan, that. Very quick stop. 4 tyres changed. Richard's gone to slicks. We can see he's on slicks. Now this is going to be interesting. The whole field is going to be watching how this pans out. Richard is going to have to pick his way around the track. Motoyama obviously happy that there's a dry enough line for slicks to work. The other big problem, of course, is the track is remaining quite cold. It's not heating up. There's no sunshine. And as long as it stays slightly damp, that'll just hold the the moisture in the track, and that just keeps the temperature down, so it's going to take 2 or 3 laps to get these tyres heated up, particularly slicks. So this still our second place battle, and look at that Kogure flashing away. There is a switch in there that lets the lights flash automatically once you throw that switch. Driver doesn't actually have to sit there pushing the button himself all the time. Back marker Nissan GT300 gets out of the way. This battle goes on then. The Huzan car run by Toyota Motorsport, Toms. Andre Lotterer will be handing over to Juichi Wakisaka. They make their one and only mid-race pit stop. So Richard Lyons at the moment, feeling his way around the track on slick tyres. 34 down out of 81. We're assuming it's going to go to 81 laps. Unless more rain arrives, none forecast at the moment. And our race leader, if you're just joining us, still Ralph Furman in the Arta NSX from Takashi Kogure in the Takata Dome NSX, the green car we're looking at here. And in third place, the Huzan Toyota Motorsport Lexus SC430 of Andre Lotterer, the people who won here in 2006. But still, this battle rages on. Waiting there in the pits is Ryo Mishigami, the man we saw at Sepang, absolutely distraught that the car broke down on the warm-up lap. We're going to take another break, stay with motors, and see how this is going to pan out. Welcome back to Motors TV. This is Mark Coe. We're looking at some very, very close racing here from Sugo, round 5 of the Super GT Championship. And this is the battle for second place. We're still watching Takata Honda of Takashi Kogure fighting off for the last 10 laps. Andre Lotterer's Toyota Motorsport Lexus. Ralph Furman we haven't seen for some time, but he has gone out ahead in the orange Arta Honda NSX. Car run by Aguri Suzuki. And Ralph, you may have seen if you subscribe to dailymotorsport.com, writing his experiences on this race on the site this week, saying just what a good team the Suzuki team is, his whole empire, and his orange Autobac sponsored NSX has been amongst the pace setters this season. Ralph paying a lot of compliments to his co-driver Daisuke Ito-san. Ralph also mentioning, of course, that one of his engineers, Shirai-san, was one of the masterminds behind the 3 Grand Prix victories which Jordan and Mugen Honda achieved in 1998 and 1999, and Ralph then went on to drive for that team. Those wins going to Damon Hill and to Heinz Harald Frentzen. This at the moment there is what we're watching. The director's fixated by this race going on. Just to update you on GT300, we haven't seen it for a while. It's still the Privé Kenzo Scheiden, the beautiful blue prototype, Toyota powered prototype, leading the Subaru Impreza of Tetsuya Yamano. Yes, a Subaru Impreza, basically a rally car, 2-litre turbo, but 4-wheel drive, which has really played into that team's hands here this afternoon. Oh, and it goes through. Oh, Lotterer goes through, but he can't quite do it. He just didn't have the grip there to turn in enough, and he had to just slightly back off, else he'd have been in the side door of Kogure. So we know that Lotterer has got the pace, but he just cannot get the grip to get by. There is a dry line definitely appearing now on the track. If you get off that dry line onto the wet stuff, you just don't have the grip, you don't have the turn-in. Well, here comes the Autobacs car. We think this is coming from third place. The Arta Guraya. This is Morio Nita. He's going to hand this car over to Shinichi Takagi. They won at Fuji, of course. They're 6th in the championship. Missed out last year. They decided not to run the car, but they bought it back for this year. And with a great immediate result. That was the opening round at Suzuka. They won GT300 in. And still, Lotterer just has got his windscreen full of the back wing of that Dome Run NSX. Likewise, all Kagura can see in his mirrors is the grill of the Lexus SC430 that has just been giving him such a hard time over the last 20 laps now. This has been amazingly close. Great driving by both of these experienced GT runners. Just nothing in it. Lotterer chipping away lap after lap, but as we've seen 2 or 3 times, he's managed to get alongside. The Honda's slightly more slippery as they come out of 110R corner onto the start-finish straight and go past the timing beams. He's just able to pull out that little tiny bit extra there. At the moment going through SP corner. Then into 110R. Let's take some up the hill then. Past the pit entry. Someone goes in there. And again, he's able to pull out a little bit. The Honda is so much more slippery, but then Lotterer will catch him on the rest of the lap. Just give him a hard time. In comes one of the little Mazdas. This is the double head Toy Story car shared by Hiroaki Ishiura, handing over to Kazuya Oshima. Well, they're more or less on schedule. They probably decide to change to slicks as well. First of the GT300s to do so. Richard Lyons has been struggling a little bit on his tyres. Just waiting to get sight of him soon. But look at this, cars everywhere. There's the Lamborghini. Car Marco Apicella should have been driving. Turns in comes the 24. Kondo Racing Woodoni Z. This is Jean-Pierre Lima de Oliveira with Seiji Ara. They won last time out in Sepang. What we're waiting to see is when race leader Ralph Furman makes his stop. Oh, the 101 car goes off. That is the Toy Story car we just saw hand over to Kazuya Oshima. He's only just come out of the pits, and Oshima has beached that car. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, they were running 4th in GT300. That's a big mistake there by Kazuya Oshima. Oh, and a bigger crash there for the Artegra. That's Nitas still on board. He hasn't come in yet, but the Artegra that was running in 3rd place. Now, what's happened here? Oh no, it's had an accident on his own. That's a big accident as well. It's taken a lot of the back end off that car. So the Artegra will not be taking part in this race anymore. Mario Nita still not having handed over to Shinichi Takagi, and there's the team looking at that. Oh, absolutely shocked. Big accident. You can see just how much damage there is there. The marshals just helped Nita to get out. It's quite all right, but they're just making sure. A lot of work to do on that car before the next race. Suzuka 1,000 kilometers at the end of this month. Still, this battle for second place rages on overall. Here comes our race leader. This is Ralph Furman coming in. Ralph has built up a considerable lead now, some 22 seconds. He's going to hand over to Daisuke Ito. And they're going to follow Richard Lyons' lead. Look, there's slick tyres going onto the car as it's refueled. So Ralph has told the team, told his Aguri Suzuki team, yes, it's okay for slicks. Just tell Ito-san, take it easy for the first couple of laps because they'll need to warm up. Oh, more problems there. This is the... wasn't the Artra NSX going off there. It was one of the GT300 Nissans being pushed into the wall. So for the moment, here is our race leader. Why is that? What's happened? Oh, he's gone ahead. He's gone ahead. Oh, and that's Michael Krum's teammate, SUGO Matsuda. He's had a spin in the pit lane. And Ralph Furman's car, which is now in the hands of Daisuke Ito, has to take to the grass to go past him. That's a big, big mistake. Other cars going past as well. What has happened there? Michael Krum handing over to SUGO Matsuda. Hopefully we can see again. It looks like he just spun it. Don't think he hit anything, but it's stalled, isn't it? He's trying to roll backwards and get it going. Still there. Oh, this is costing a big time. The second to the factory, Nismo Run Nissans. He's on the slope then. He's able to let it roll back a bit, but cannot get the car refired. This is our race leader then, Andre Lotterer. While all that was going on, had just already, as we saw, gone ahead of the Dome Racing NSX. Of Takashi Kogure, he has yet to make his stop. And when they get onto drier tyres, Ryo Michigami no doubt will do a good job for them. Well, here's a hot replay of the moment that the pass came. Now look at this. Kogure's on the inside. He tries. Oh, and it's a collision. That's what happened there. Kogure ran into the back of the Endless Advan Nissan. Tried to go through on the curb on the inside. That's what cost him. He may well get a drive-through for that. As we said, the Japanese steward's very keen on this. Oh, this is for GT300. And look at this. The Subaru Impreza is going to lead a Super GT race for the first time in history. Well, what a move that was. Four-wheel drive and just so much grip from a little 2-litre saloon car. I mean, he shouldn't even be in GT300, but there he is. He's just taken the Shiden, which is the pride of Japanese Super GT300 racing. And Yamano doing a fantastic job there. This car started from 15th place in the hands of Tetsuya Yamano. What a great job. But look, there's yellow flags everywhere, so cars going off left, right and centre. And it's just this is the trouble. People are already moving on to slick tyres, or their rain tyres are past their best. So everyone is having a super slippery problems at the moment. Can the Shiden come back? I don't know, but in comes Luc Duval to hand over the fourth place. It was fourth, it's now third place car to Fabio Carboni. Slick tyres again, that's the order now. The rain has stopped. No point going on in wets there because it is drying out. Driver change. Fuel. Can't touch the tyres while the fuel's going on. Oh, and there is the Motul car. They've not been able to get it going again. So the race is over. Very, very sadly for SUGO Matsuda and Michael Krum. Did such a good job of fighting for that 7th place, only for the car to spin and stall in the pit entrance. There's the Epson car. The Fabio Carboni rejoins. We're going to take another break here on Motors. There's a lot to come yet, so keep watching. Welcome back to SUGO, round 5 of Super GT. Here is our race leader. It's Andre Lotterer of Germany driving the Husan Toms Lexus SC430. He's in huge traffic, and there is the car that's been leading much of the race. That is the Arta NSX, which Ralph Furman took from the front row of the grid into the lead. He's handed it over to Daisuke Ito. That car is on slick tyres, and look at the difference that makes. He's hauling in the race leader at a rate of knots. So remember that the race leader has still to make his first pit stop. Oh, it's a banging match there. He goes through and he brutally takes the lead from that car. Ford GT just ahead of them. That's a car we didn't see in Sepang. It's come back to do these home races. That's the DHG Advan Ford GT 3.5 litre V8 Takubamba Daisuke Akida. at the wheel of it. And a whole host of cars coming into the pits together. Oh, and they're all banging and touching. And that Ford has held the whole lineup. Subaru comes in. That held up, of course, the Huzan Tom's car of Lotterer. He's desperate now to hand over. Also in the Takata Dome NSX of Kagure. Likewise. So it seems an age for the drivers as the cars are refettled, refueled, retired. Driver changes. Only the driver may be changed. No other work on the car while the fuel's going in. And it's a good stop for the Takata car. But not quite good enough. He just gets out there. 2 seconds longer it takes him. The Huzan car, the Thomas Toyota, now in the hands of Juichi Wakisaka. Goes back onto the track. We'll find out what position it's in just a moment. But look at this, they're on slicks and they are finding it very, very slippery. Conditions will dry out. Lap 44 then of 81 completed. Oh, and immediately Mishigami starts monstering Wakisaka. This is in effect still for second place. When everyone's made their stops, that's how it should pan out. But the little Subaru's still running with them. They all came out at the same time, but here is our race leader. Oh, former race leader before the pit stops, Mishigami. So I think what's happened is that Ito probably had to run longer on slicks. Yes, and in fact, he is being shown at the moment as in 4th place, so he's got to come through. That's a virtual 4th place. He's got to come back through past the Huzan car and past Mishigami in the Takata Dome car. So we're looking at the moment at the 1st, 2nd and 3rd overall in our virtual race. That is once everybody else has made their pit stops. Well, that's made easy, isn't it? Mishigami just goes through the inside of other way around rather. It's Ito goes through the inside of Mishigami. His tyres up to temperature. Mishigami still struggling to get temperature into his. And so I think by the looks of it, so is Juichi Wakisaka. Ito-san finding all the dry spots on the circuit. So let's just see who we've lost during this race. We've lost the Forum car of Bjorn Wertheim. Problems only there. Oh, that's for the lead. Well, for the virtual lead. Oh, and off he goes. Oh, Ito goes through into what would be the virtual lead, immediately drops it. Off on the outside of 4th corner. He's got all that work to do again now. That has also let Mishigami through. In the pits then, the GT300 leading Shiden. Rocky Kato hands over to Kazuho Takahashi. And again, Ito coming back. Oh, look at this. They're trying to go 3 abreast up the main straight. Oh, look at this. This is for the lead of the race. It will be. This is super stuff. Oh, and in the middle there, that is Mishigami who gets sandwiched, but Ito cannot get through the first time he does as they go into this corner, but that has let Wakisaka break away. Well, I hope we see that again. 3 cars abreast down the main straight. They're probably all doing something like 180 miles an hour at that moment. Well, that was very, very impressive. Here's our virtual leader. He is now the leader because we have just seen the Lexus that's running him to dive into the pits. Down the hill, Wakisaka on board the Toyota Motorsport SC430. Daisuke Ito in second. The car he is sharing with Ralph Furman. Team run, as we said earlier, by Aguri Suzuki. The man watching from the pit wall just then was their team manager, Nakamura. So 47 of 81 laps we are on at the moment. Lexus leading, Honda, and then the best of the Nissans in 5th place, the yellow hat car, Sebastian Philippe having handed over to Masataka Yanagida. So the race now sorts itself out as all the pit stops come to an end. Well, certainly all the GT500 pit stops. Everybody now on slicks. That is the tyre of choice. And Ito flashing to come through past the Lamborghini. Desperately hunting down the current race leader in the Lexus, Juichi Wakisaka. 2006 champions. Just to recap who we've lost. Bjorn Wertheim on the first lap in the Forum Lexus. Car went out after they could not fit the rain tyres onto the hubs. Oh, and as even we say that, the 23 car of Richard Lance, that's out. It must be out. He's got either a fire or something has blown. This is a dreadful day for Nissan. Oh, it's an accident. Has he gone off with someone? Or has he just stopped? It's difficult to see from this side. There is another car just up there. This is at the entrance, or in the middle of High Point corner. Richard has only just taken over the wheel a few minutes ago. He's getting back in the car. He sees there's no damage. He's going to try and drive it back. And look at this, still leading. This is the little Cisco Dunlop Subaru Impreza 4-wheel drive leading GT300, and that is causing a huge stir here today at SUGO because that was never ever expected. They've been plugging on the last 3-4 years in this little car. Suddenly today they are out front ahead of the GT300,000 Z, the Vilcom VMAC, the Wedsport Celica and the Privé Scheiden Violet Lightning. This is our lead battle. Overall GT500, as you can see the track almost dry now. Air temperature still only 22 degrees. After 2 days of practice and qualifying in beautiful sunshine, they woke up this morning to fog, mist and then rain. I'm just looking at the moment when Wakisaka and Mishigami got together. The 3 cars came side by side down the pit straight. Now, normally Ito should have been able to take the lead here, but I think he was on the wet, and yeah, you can see he's on the wet. He couldn't brake quite as late as the others could. Being watched there by Andre Lotterer saying, no, no, no. Well, in comes our GT300 leader. Car was started by Tetsuya Yamano. It's handing it over to Takayuki Aoki. The Ford GT being flashed by Wakisaka, overall race leader. Where is the Subaru going to come out? Will it still hold the lead of GT300 when he rejoins? Comes out of the pits, and as he does that, we're going to take a break. Stay with us on Motors TV for Super GT from SUGO. We're back at SUGO, round 5 Super GT. Here on Motors, I'm Mark Cohen. We're looking at the big midfield scrabble at the moment as the Epson NSXer, Fabio Carboni on board, running in 4th place. It's Honda 2, 3 and 4 behind the race-leading Tom's Lexus SC430 of Juichi Wakisaka, which Andre Lotterer handed over to him and then got into the lead. Race long leaders until then have been Ralph Furman with Daisuke Ito, but they perhaps came in just a little bit too early, changed to slick tyres on a still damp track, lost out a bit, but they are still right in it. Running in 2nd place at the moment, and certainly for a long while with the fastest cars on the track, although once the tyres got up to temperature on Wakisaka's Lexus, he was able to get that car, keep that car ahead of the Arta NSX. Very tight final corner here onto the long tilted uphill straight over the ridge, and what a sight that was. Those 3 cars side by side, that was for the lead, and the man who had to back off was Daisuke Ito. One of the sights of this year's championship, I think you'll agree. GT300, we've just noted that the Subaru Impreza, that's led much of the race on with its 4-wheel drive, is still the virtual leader. Others around have still got to make their pit stops, so that one won't pan out for a few minutes yet. We'll find out exactly where that Impreza is, if in fact he will still be in the lead, and if so, by how much. There in the background we saw Jeremy Dufour just sliding the Calsonic car out of the Rainbow corner. This is down the back stretch. Rainbow leading into Horseback corner, which is going through right now. So here is Wakisaka, still leading. He's just starting to pull away a little bit now from Daisuke Ito. This is Wakisaka, so this is GT300 we're looking at, not GT500. So this is the number 47 Huzan Dunlop Z of Shogo Mitsuyama and Shigakushi Wakisaka, another Wakisaka family. And they're leading from the Vilcom 408R, but I believe these cars still have to make their stops. Dry line very apparent on the circuit now. There is that 2nd place VMAC Shibahara. VMAC built as a road car here in England, sent to Japan. They then turned them back into racers. The Red Sport Celica Sekiguchi. So it looks like the Impreza has in fact dropped further back in the order. I hope we'll see an overall standings for GT300 in a minute. lap 54. Zakiri Aida showing that Red Sport Toyota Celica with Yohiki Sekiguchi. Well, here we are. This is the GT500 battle. The other Huzan Z. This is the GT500 one, and still Ito right on his tail. Nor are they dropping the Takata Dome car of Ryo Mishigami. These three still tied together. So Huzan Lexus leading GT500, Huzan Nissan Z leading in GT300. These lap times dropping, as you can see, as the track dries out. Almost 3 seconds a lap quicker now, over 5 laps. The start-finish line for the 60th time. This battle is going to go right down to the wire by the looks of it. 20 to go, 21 to go. Wakisaka, Ito and Mishigami, 1, 2 and 3. Again, on this tight SUGO circuit, traffic does play a part. GT300s can't just disappear, but they have got to keep watching their mirrors as much as they're watching ahead. Wakisaka playing the traffic brilliantly. Lexus on 0 weight. As the Arta NSX is carrying 45 kilos of success penalty, so it is a big difference between the two cars. Basic weight 1100 kilos. And we'll subtract the penalties as the season goes on. Well, just talking to Takashi Kogure, man who started from pole position. At least he's very happy, he says, to have made the start. Can he win, he's asked, and he said, well, I think so. We're well placed at the moment. We're not losing touch. Ryo Mishigami is doing a good job out there. And there is his car. We've got a drive-through penalty for the number 1 car. That is the race leader. He has been given a drive-through. What's this for? This is a big blow to the team. Well, what we're hearing is that when those 4 cars all came into the pits together and nearly collided, the number 1 car got forced over the white line. Let's have a look. Maybe they'll be able to director be able to pick that up and show us, but this is going to cost the race win for Andre Lotterer and Juichi Wakisaka, because even without drive-through penalty, he's struggling now to keep the NSXs off his back. So watch at the end of this lap if he dives in. This, of course, is handing the race to Honda after the last 6 years' domination by Toyota and Lexus. Lexus being the luxury brand of Toyota, on sale for the first time this year in Japan, having been available in Europe and America for some years. This is why Toyota is running the cars as Lexus is now in Super GT. Well, Juichi Wakisaka must know it's all up. He's seen that board. His pits have told him, you've got to come in. take your drive through. He's as probably puzzled as we are by why he's been given the drive through, but we are told it's because of the car crossing line. And he goes into the pits. He's going to take that penalty, and into the lead goes Daisuke Ito. So Ralph Furman and he back out front. Let's just hope that the director can find that picture again. 4 cars coming into the pits together, and this car just got pushed over, edged over the white line on the pit entry. Out he comes, goes past. Here we are. Let's have a look at this. Now watch that white car in the middle of the picture as they come in. He's pushed over the white line. That's what's happened. Once you enter the pits, you may not cross that white line, and that has cost Lexus the race. The result of all that is Honda 1, 2, 3. Arta NSX from Takata Dome NSX. From Epson NSX. Well, how good is that for Honda? Honda has already scored win this year. Ralph Furman and Daisuke Ito winning in Okayama. And if things go their way, they could win again today, but first of all, they've got to keep Ryo Mishigami off their tail. That Takata Dome NSX really hooked up now. Run by Dome Racing, the Japanese racing car manufacturer who makes the chassis for these Hondas. And running one of them themselves. They're all 5 are factory cars, but they're all run by different teams. And there we are, confirmation. And Nissan at the moment in 4th place as the Huzan car rejoins in 5th, 24 seconds down on our race leaders. Ford GT again getting in the way. Great to see that car racing. Still surprised we haven't seen more of it in Europe, but I guess that'll come in time. So Daisuke Ito leading Ryo Mishigami, leading Fabio Carboni here at SUGO as the race goes into the final dozen or so laps. We're going to take a break here on motors, but stay with us. Come back, what could be a great finish. We're back at SUGO. Lap 68 of 81 here in round 5 of Super GT Series. And we've got Nissan's in 4th place, but ahead of them 3 Hondas. Ralph Furman of Britain sharing the number 8 Arta NSX orange car with Daisuke Ito. Ito's at the wheel now. He's just ahead of Ryo Mishigami in the Dome Racing Takata Dome NSX, and in 3rd place Fabio Carboni, the Brazilian, on board the Epson NXX car. There's the Nissan, the yellow hat Nissan in 4th place, and the Huzan Lexus of Juichi Wakisaka in 5th, having just had to take a drive-through penalty for its part in an incident going into the pits. 4 cars tried to get to the pits together. He got edged over the white line and fairly or unfairly had to take a penalty for that. Yanagida then at the wheel of that yellow hat car we just mentioned, the 4th place car, taken it over from France's Sébastien Philippe. Well, here is the 5th place car, the Huzan car. All the good work done by Andre Lotto to get that car into the lead, undone as he came into the pits to hand it over. Just the way the dice roll, I guess, here. Completely dry track now, speeds increasing all the time. There's the Scheiden, which has dropped down a little bit in GT300. Let's just update you on GT300. We haven't seen it lately, but we're watching the progress earlier on of the amazing little Subaru Impreza, which got into the lead, had problems after that. After they came into the pits for driver change. Takayuki Aoki went back out, immediately had tire problems, came back in, and then they had a hub problem. Couldn't get the wheels to locate properly on the hubs, and as a result of that, they've now dropped down the order. In fact, we understand they've retired now, so that race over. There is Aguri Suzuki in the foreground, watching the progress of his car. The orange Autobac sponsored Arta Guraya. Autobac's, of course, the sponsors also of the Super GT series. Takata Dome NSX just not backing off at all. This battle's going to go right down to the wire for sure. Two of the best drivers, Japanese drivers in the series. Daisuke Ito leading Ryo Mishigami. 11 to go. The race will pan out at about 2 hours, and again they pass the Ford GT. Always seems to be in the picture for some reason. We've lost 4 cars in GT500. The Form Engineering Lexus of Bjorn Wertheim out with hub failure. The Real NSX of the Kaneshis crashed heavily. The Motul Ortec Z of Mikael Krum, that was spun by Sugo Matsuda as he left the pits and would not restart. And then finally, the Zanavi Nismo Z of Richard Lyons, which we saw pulling off the circuit with a vast amount of smoke or steam coming out of the car. So both factory Nismo run Nissans out of the race. It's not the result Nissan was looking for this weekend, but the yellow hat car, which is run by Masahiro Hashemi, at least is running in 4th place, with Sebastian Philippe and Masataka Yanagida sharing the wheel. 10 to go as we still watch this lead battle. Absolutely relentless. There's the Scheiden coming up to try and split the GT300 cars. And again, they're going to do 3 abreast as they go up the hill. This is for 3rd in GT300. That Nissan has the same speed as them, but the VMAC loses its 3rd place to the Privé Scheiden. And a similar move that we saw the 3 overall GT500 leaders make. Takahashi doing a good job there. Again, getting his beautiful prototype. Looks like a Group C car, doesn't it? Really hooked up. Built by Mooncraft. Here it is again. That's the Endless Advan Z, which they're just lapping. Z, of course, going off the track earlier on. But the 3 of them in a replay of what happened in GT500. The Nissan Z driver wisely backing off and letting him through. Oh, off goes Hosokawa. Another Honda bites the dust. This has been a very destructive race for a lot of people. Hosokawa, having taken this car over for Dominic Schwager, crashes heavily. This is in the exit from 110R. So conditions still catching people out. This is so close to the end of the race. And they're going to try and move that car with just the 10 laps to go. Are they going to just trust that everybody knows it's there? Honda 1, 2, 3, that's the story at the moment from Sugo. Then Nissan, then 2 Lexuses, and Lexus, let me remind you, have won this race over the last 6 years. It's been their property. A long time since a non-Lexus or Toyota won this race. You have to go back to 2000, and that was a Honda win. Nissan has never ever won here. So looking at the GT300 order, Subaru Impreza has retired. It's a shame. What a great run for that little car, and a huge fan base for it. The Huzan Z leading this car, the Wed Sports Celica. Akira Aida at the moment on board the Celica. Shogo Mitsuyama in the Huzan Dunlop Nissan. And in third place, the Kenzo Shiden. Kazuho Takahashi having taken the car in from Rocky Kato. So up there, right in the running, is another big surprise. Not Subaru, that's out, but 33 Hankook Porsche, which is up into fourth place with Yuya Sakamoto. In comes the Zent Tsurumo SC430. This is the car of Toru Takagi and Yuichi Tachikawa. What problem have they got? Come in, a lot of concern there. Head scratching around the driver's side of the car. Again, just confirmation of the GT300 battle that's still raging, just as it is in GT500. Nissan looks like they could actually pull this one out of the bag in GT300 if they're not going to win GT500 this afternoon. Past the pits, very, very little in it. But if the Celica driver is going to make his move, Sekiguchi, he's only got a few laps left in which to do it. Just bear in mind that the GT300 cars are some laps down on the 500s, so their race will probably go to something like 75 laps. This is just as good a battle as the lead battle. It's Shigakazu Wakisaka at the moment at the wheel. Toyota Celica getting closer and closer every lap. Look at this. Wed Sports car, 2-litre turbocharged engine. It's a 3.5-litre V6 Nissan. Oh, and he's right up on his tail now. 6 laps remaining in this race. It's going to stay dry. Oh. Looks left, looks right, looks left again. That was Akira Aida. Watching him from the pits. See if he can try again. Down the Toyota comes on the inside, can't do it, goes on the outside. Is this Toyota going to get in their way? No, he gets through. Oh, he's almost alongside. Looks left, looks right again. This is amazing racing here from SUGO. Closing stages of the race, we're not even seeing the GT500 battle. This is where he's going to try and do it. Come up the hill, get a toe over the hill. So Sekiguchi can't quite do it. Looks inside, backs off again. We're going to take a break. Stay with us here on Motors. Back to the closing minutes of the 5th round of Super GT here from SUGO, Sportland SUGO. one of the most demanding tracks in Japan. We're looking at the moment at the GT300 battle. This is the Huzan Z being chased by the Wedsport Celica. Shikakuzi Wakasaka and Yui Segikuchi fighting out the closing stages of the race. And as they're doing that, through comes our overall race leader. This is Daisuke Ito, who took that orange Honda NSX over from Ralph Furman, heading now for what could be their second win of the season, become the first 2 times winners this year. And if the top 3 stay in this order, it'll be Honda's first 1, 2, 3 with the NSXs. And that would be a rout for the mighty Nissan and Toyota Lexus teams. And now Ryo Michigami is flashing to come through past the GT300 leaders. So the 2 GT500 leaders, 2 GT300 leaders, all together at this moment on the track, fighting out the space. This Toyota really pushing now. He seems to have the better car under him, doesn't he? I think we may well see a change. Segikuchi trying to get through on the inside, and he does it! Through he goes. This is for the GT300 lead as he comes out of the final 110R curve. And look at the way he goes away immediately. Just shows how much more speed he's carrying along that straight. And, well, looks like Wakisaka didn't even know it hit him. There's Akira Aida just saying, I think we've done it, to his team manager. Still a lot of mist hanging in the trees there, but it has stayed dry. So Sekiguchi, good job he's done this afternoon. Anyone who's kept the car on the island today, I think, has done a good job. Yokohama tyres on this car. Advan, of course, in Japan. We know him as Yokohama. Dunlop tyres on the second placed Nissan Z. In third place in that category, still the Scheiden. Now we're looking at the GT500 podium fight. Epson NSX against Yellow Hat Nissan Z. There they are, the blue Honda, the yellow Nissan, trying to chase him down. He's been closing the gap. But again, as you can see, on lap 77, traffic getting in the way. 3 laps to go now then. There's Masataka Yanagida. Dives inside one of the backmarker GT300 Porsches. There's the Epson NSX. Fabio Carboni of Brazil on board. There, the yellow hat Tomica Z. Car that Sebastian Philippe of France started this afternoon. Nissan will be happy for that. They lost both their Nismo factory cars, but at least at the moment they've got one of the privateer teams in the top 4 places. Honda 1, 2, 3 though, that'll be the big shock for Lexus. They'll be back at the factory tomorrow wondering what went wrong. How did these Hondas steal the thunder from us? They're going to fill the podium, aren't they, this afternoon? Unless something happens in the next couple of laps. Michigami certainly looking like he wants to have a look down the inside of Ito. Ralph Furman and Takashi Kogure, who both started these cars, will be on the pit wall, biting their nails at the moment. Doesn't get much closer than this in either of the classes. We've just seen, of course, the change for GT300 between the Toyota and the Nissan. Are we going to see the same here in GT500? Or will team orders come into play now that Daisuke Ito and Ralph Furman have established this lead? Of course, championship points are all important for Honda. Ito and Furman came here leading the championship. Dominic Schwager and Shinya Hosokawa, they were second in the championship coming here, but of course that car we just saw crashed heavily some 11 laps ago. Here we go. Mishigami having a look down the inside of Ito. Hasn't got long left to make his move. He just desperately wants this win. 4 successive pole positions, but no win to show for them. All that Mishigami can do now is hope that traffic might play its part as they pass that Gym Centre Ferrari F360. Car at the moment running in 10th place. Again, Mishigami has a look, and again Ito resists as we switch to the 3rd place battle. Carboni and Yanagida, Epson NSX and Yellow Hat Nissan Z. Checkered flag then, it's already out, come across the line. The Artra NSX having won from the Takata Dem NSX, the Epson NXX. It is a 1-2-3 for Honda. What a great afternoon for Ralph Furman. That puts him even further ahead in the championship points. We're just looking now, 61 points over the 37 of Dominik Schwager and Shinya Hosokawa. And of course, they go next to the Suzuka 1,000 kilometers. They got 3 more races after that, Motegi, Autopolis, and then finally at Fuji at the end of the season as the GT300 runners come across the line. The Wed Sport Celica confirming its victory from the Huzan Dunlop Nissan. And what we didn't see right on the line was the Hankook Porsche of Sakamoto just took 3rd place away from the Privé Kenzo Shiden of Takahashi. So Porsche getting their first ever podium, well, first podium in some years in GT300. So a race today full of surprises, a lot of retirements, most of those through accidents. We lost 4 cars through crashes in GT500, and we lost some 5 cars through crashes in GT300, just showing how treacherous the conditions were today. So in come the 2 NSXs, Daisuke Ito and Ryo Mishigami, and their teammates will be there to greet them. Good job by these guys this afternoon, both kept out of trouble. Ralph Furman and Daisuke Ito becoming the first 2 times winners this year in Super GT. It's looking more and more like Honda, isn't it? Nissan in 4th, Lexus 5th and 6th, and Nissan in 7th place there with the rest of the cars there lapped. After tactics came into play, it really depended on who chose first to go for those slick tyres. There's the results of GT300. Great win there by the Wed Sport Celica team of Aida and Sekiguchi, just beating the Huzan Z. And look at that, the Hankook Porsche. That's the 966 of Kinoshita and Sakamoto in 3rd place. Sadly, we didn't see a win for the Subaru Impreza. Fairy tales don't always come true, but certainly midway through the race, I'd have put money on that car winning here today. Had a 10-second lead at the time they developed a tyre problem, and then had mechanical problems after that. So just 18 cars classified in GT300. Another 4 cars were not, and likewise 12 cars classified in GT500 and another 4 cars not. Just to update you on the championship points. Furman and Ito going to the lead with 61. There they are, Schwager and Hosokawa, who failed to finish 37. Motoyama and Lyons, who failed to finish 36. Tachikawa and Takagi, they finish that they're now running on 35 points. And Duarte Duval and Fabio Carboni with their finish today on 34 points, equaling Mishigami and Kogure. Those are the real point scorers today. But Honda going further and further out ahead. Look at that. Autobacks Racing Team Aguri. That is the ARTA Honda team. ARTA. On the podium then, all Honda. First time this season, first time I think ever. And Ralph Furman there, tallest man on the podium, man from Norfolk. As if the Japanese spectators weren't already wet enough, they get drenched. Well done, Ralph. Good job. Are we looking here at this year's champion? It's looking increasingly likely, isn't it? We've had Richard Lyons in the past, now Ralph Furman, perhaps lining up to become champion of Japan's top racing series, and certainly the toughest GT racing in the world. It's been good to have you with us on Motors. I've been Mark Cole, and got plenty more to come. Plenty of live racing. American Le Mans Series from Spa, and next race Suzuka. We'll be there on Motors, so join us then. Been good to have you with us. See you soon.